fire. Hello everyone, this is Sarcastic CJ, and today on Curious Contrarians I'm going to specify the need for freedom of expression and speech. Well, you might be wondering, why did I scream fire a lot? This was an actual example given by Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes to limit freedom of speech, to limit speech. He said that if anyone would scream fire in a house full of theaters, unfortunately that we don't have that place here, that would be a breach or immoral in a sense, according to him. And what actually he was doing was sending a group of Yiddish-speaking people into a prison whom's protest writings he did not even understand himself at the first place, who fled from a war-stricken Russia during the Great War and protested against the American intervention in the Western Front. That seems a big non sequitur, doesn't it? So before going on the necessity of freedom of speech, I will specify what free speech is. I think freedom of speech is freedom at its utmost. The way I perceive things or interpret things, I should be able to express them. Of course, that has to be in a non-violent way. If it is directly causing violence, then obviously we can say it is incorrect by the person itself. But if the person is just expressing their ideas and thoughts, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Why am I making this video, first of all? Why do I think freedom of speech is something that I need to talk about? Well, as Rosa Luxemburg said, freedom of speech is meaningless unless it means freedom for the person who thinks differently. Well, if we want to live in a majoritarian way, well, we can, but the problem is that there are contrarians always in each society, and if we don't want freedom of expression, then, well, we are limiting ourselves from the same freedom of speech. And also, freedom of speech also entails freedom to hear. We can listen as we want. We have the right to listen. We can listen and we cannot listen. If we don't want something that we should listen, we can just deny it. But if we are forced to listen it, then of course we can protest against it and use our freedom of expression in that. Well, so where is freedom of expression violated the most? Especially in criticizing. Freedom of expression is violated by criticizing stuff. It is generally mixed with hate speech, which actually comes inside freedom of expression as a matter of fact, and criticizing mostly the government and, well, superstition, religion itself. Well, for example, if I use freedom of expression and somebody gives me an argument that, well, you can't hurt anybody else's feeling, but that is just past the point. What do you mean, your feelings? Why should I even care about your feelings? And if you are offended, well, please give me an argument for it. I'm sure my ideas and this video is probably going to offend some viewers. And if you are offended, the comment section is open to criticize me. You can do it as you like. Also, freedom of speech is something, a necessity, especially in it is necessary in a democracy. And of course, I remember quote by Nietzsche. I don't remember what the quote is, but I remember his thought, which is that we should live dangerously and express ourselves the way we are, because let's say a demon tells you, I don't believe in demons, this is just an assumption, let's say, if a demon tells you that the life you're living right now, you have to live that life innumerable times with the same pain, same joys, same sufferings, you have to live that for eternity. Imagine infinity, living as Chinmay Pichaka again and again, forever. I cannot do anything about it. So all the unlived life inside us will remain unlived for eternity. And wouldn't it be better if we could live that life again and live that unlived life in us and express ourselves the way we are in this society, in any society? And at last, again, I'll do it as I do in each episode. I'll do a little bit of an attack on dogma. Of course, the main argument I see against freedom of speech is, obviously, one is offense, and the second is you just can't speak this because it would create a controversy. If somebody gives that reason to me, which has indeed, they have given that reason to me first, I would say that your speech right now, that my speech is a controversy, that speech itself is raising a controversy itself, because I don't like it. I feel insulted and offended by that, and I will raise my argument against it. Is a very subtle and simple explanation I have, is that, well, if you just can't question it, why can't you question it again? And if you don't have any answer, you have no authority to speak to me in that way. I feel insulted if somebody tells me that I can't speak the things I think and I can express. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. And obviously, the freedom of speech is understood the best by the person, again, who is willing to express what they think and thinking that is differently. So that was your host, Chinmay Pichaka. Stay curious and keep questioning.
Cool CJ 1410, cool CJ 1410, cool CJ, cool CJ.